A very good afternoon to you and welcome to NTV at 1 this Saturday, 11th January 2020, live from the nation's center. My name is Edmond, Nyabola. These are some of the stories making headlines at this hour. Now, last night, police had to use tear gas to disperse legislators and supporters who had camped at the Kilimani police station, demanding the release of Gatundu South Member of Parliament Moses Kuria. The MPs were agitated after police refused to release Kuria despite serving the station with a court order allowing the MPs' release on bail.
After a long day of shuffling between the Kilimani police station and the courts, a number of politicians allied to the Tangatanga group, alongside supporters of Gatundu South Member of Parliament Moses Kuria, camped at Kilimani police station, demanding the MP's release. The MPs say they had secured a court order for Kuria's release on a cash bail of 50,000 shillings.
The order was served by the lawyer to the OCS, to the DCIO here, and since then we are waiting for release.
But their visit was unwelcome. Their efforts to address the media while at the station were thwarted.
Unless we are careful, we are going back to the old days when people were, brought in.
Police lobbed tear gas as they chased the legislators and supporters out of the facility. The group got out of the station, either in vehicles or on foot. Once outside Kilimani police station, the legislators got off their vehicles, evidently affected by the tear gas, and opted to carry on with their press conference as they condemned the police and alleged frustration by senior state officials.
Na wanapiga simu ati ndio wapewe orders from above ya kurelease Moses Kuria na yeye already akona court order.
There are people who are bent on extending their authority, extending their presidency in this country. And I think we are now working under threat, severe threat.
Yeah.
I do not understand which Kenya is this.
The Interior Ministry is yet to issue a statement responding to the allegations. As the MPs held this second press conference, the police struck again. Kuria was locked in on Friday and is to remain in police custody over the weekend. He is accused of assaulting a woman who says the legislator landed a blow on her, sending her to the ground. Vincent Odur, NTV.
Now, the drama surrounding the fate of the Akasha brothers may have come to an end after the youngest of the siblings, Ibrahim Akasha, was sentenced to 23 years in prison by an American court. Ibrahim was handed the sentence by the New York court in what may mark the end of the reign of the once powerful drug-dealing family that prosecutors say inflicted terror not just in Kenya but globally as well. His sentencing follows that of his brother, Baktash Akasha, who was handed a 25-year jail term by the same court in August last year.
After close to 3 years in detention in the United States, the last of the once powerful drug family of the Akashas, Ibrahim Akasha, had his fate sealed. The confessed drug trafficker was handed a 23-year prison term by the New York court for his drug crimes both in Kenya, the United States, and in other jurisdictions. The sentencing brings to an end the pursuit to bring members of the drug-dealing family to book, as authorities believe they were at the center of a global network of drug traffickers. Ibrahim and his brother Baktash Akasha had pleaded guilty to charges of conspiring to ship 99 kilograms of heroin into the United States in October 2018. The two were nabbed by U.S. authorities after trailing them for about 8 months, a period in which U.S. undercover narcotics agents posing as Colombian drug dealers taped their conversations with the brothers and their accomplices. Baktash had been sentenced to 25 years in prison by the same court in August last year. The Akashas had pleaded guilty more than a year ago, likely because the prosecution had assembled a seemingly irrefutable case against them. In addition to audio recordings, the prosecution presented videotapes of face-to-face meetings involving members of the Akasha group and the disguised U.S. agents. Among the crimes to which the Akashas confessed to was obstruction of justice, involving bribes the brothers had paid to Kenyan judges, prosecutors, police officers and politicians in an attempt to prevent their extradition to the United States. This leaves questions over the Kenyan officials who are part of the illicit trade and why the Kenyan government appears not to have made much progress in bringing justice.
Attacks in northern Kenya. Now, according to a police report, the militia attacked Ola police post, after which they unsuccessfully tried to destroy the Safaricom mast by spraying it with bullets. Police say the mast is intact and serviceable. The attackers allegedly then rushed to the police camp and only destroyed a civilian water booster which had been lying there for the last 2 months. Now, police say all officers have been accounted for and nothing else was destroyed. Ola village, I should say, located far from the border, meaning that Al-Shabaab has moved its attacks to more interior areas. This is the first of this kind of an attack in Mandera North. From that to a bit of politics. The planned regional consultative BBI forum that began yesterday has elicited different reactions among leaders in the country. Water Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelugui has downplayed ODM leader Raila Odinga's past assertion that BBI will cause a political tsunami that will shock the country. But Trade CS Peter Munya says BBI is a solution to the perennial political instability witnessed in the country during general elections. Now, further leaders allied to Deputy President William Ruto have accused the national government of sidelining them in the BBI process.
Ajabu ni kwamba vitu vya kusoma hakuna. Vitabu vya kusoma hasijafika pande hii. So tumeeleza watu wetu kama wamewahi kupata, hawajapata. Tunasikia kwamba iko online na watu wetu hawajui mambo ya online. Kwanza watu wetu wengi sehemu nyingi ya Kenya hii hawajui kusoma. So sijui nani atasomea hawa sasa. So nataka niseme ya kwamba hii mambo ya BBI iweze kuangaliwa vizuri.
Kama ni ukora ya kuingiza viongozi ambayo wamekosa namna ya kujishindia viti, shindwe.
Hii ni Januari wakiongea juu ya BBI ambayo haisaidii kama mwananchi.
BBI sisi tuliambiwa ilikuwa ni ya kuleta Wakenya pamoja. BBI was not meant to be bipartisan in any way. What we are seeing today in Kisii are politics of tribe, politics that are going to break down what would have otherwise been a brilliant idea of BBI.
Kwa wale magavana ambao wanatumia pesa za kaunti kuzungusha wananchi na kuwafanyia mikutano ya mambo ya BBI, wakati mtakuja Senate, hautakuja kutuambia ati nilikuwa nimezungusha watu sababu kuna mambo ya BBI. Senate haitambui hiyo maneno.
In future, kama hii process ya change the constitution inakuja, tulete pesa zaidi mashinani ili gavana wenu aweze kupiga tarmac roads bila shida, kujenga shule bila shida, kuinua maisha ya kina mama bila shida, kwa sababu that is the only way we can touch the ordinary person.
Through the leadership of the governor in this council, we will all convene and attend governor and make our contribution to this document as part of our duty. Our duty as a citizen about this country, we make our contribution.
Unasikia inaitwa building bridges, BBI ni ya hiyo kazi. Ni vipi tutatatua shinda za siasa zetu, iwe wakati wa siasa, si wakati wa vita na vurugu. Ni vipi tutatatua shinda zetu ya siasa, iwe siasa zetu si za kabila na si siasa za kugawanya wa Kenya ama za kubagua wa Kenya.
More cabinet secretaries are actually now becoming engaged in politics that seems to be against the spirit of the 2010 constitution. We will see what happens going forward. Now, there continues to be concerns over the disconnect between what students are taught in school and what is expected of them in the workplace. This is among the issues that the Boma International Hospitality College seeks to achieve, even as it held its induction this morning. Nayoma Sampao is at the school and now joins us live this afternoon. Nayoma, what has been happening there this morning?
Okay, thank you very much, Edmond. We are here at the Boma International Hospitality College located in South Sea, where induction for new students who are being admitted in this college was ongoing. Now, these students are joining this school for the first time, and of course it is important to make them familiar with the environment and what the school offers in terms of courses. This particular school offers 2 courses, a Swiss diploma in hotel management and a Swiss diploma in culinary arts. This particular school is, it boasts about being the only hospitality college that is found within a hotel complex. This gives them the advantage of training their students. They don't just have to learn the theory part of it, but they also learn to practice in the hotel that is located here. Now, the hotel industry is currently facing a lot of turbulence thanks to few tourists coming in the country, but they hope that this year it is going to improve, because the Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala, as he spoke, said that they are expecting 1.4 million tourists to be visiting the country. But right now we are joined by Abbas Gulet, who's the director of this particular college. Welcome, Abbas.
Thank you.
So tell us about the challenges that the hospitality industry is facing.
Well, I think there are lots of challenges, and not here just only talk about the challenge. One of the challenges could be having qualified, well-trained manpower or human resource that can work in these facilities to promote these facilities. And Boma International Hospitality College was started about 4.5 years ago. Today is by far the leading hospitality school in this country. We want to make it a Pan-African. We want to be the leading Pan-African hospitality college. We partner with a Swiss hotel school called BHMS in Lausanne in Switzerland, and we do offer a diploma in culinary arts and a diploma in hotel management. And we're very happy that over the last 4.5 years we've graduated 3 times, and now today being an induction for new intakes. Up to yesterday, we had about 103 students who had enrolled and registered. Today, we were inducting them and their parents. We hope by next week, when we open the school, to hit the mark of 120, which is the numbers we're looking at, and bulk of that is in culinary arts. And we're happy that the school has been growing in leaps and bounds, and today that it has these facilities that is in between the 2 hotels of the Boma hotels, which is a 3-star hotel and a 5-star hotel. So our students have had the luxury and the pleasure of learning in a hotel environment, where they also send out on internship every 3rd semester. And we're very happy that today, on the African continent, we pride ourselves to be the only hotel school that has these facilities, and we're very happy with the quality of education we've been able to impart, but also having Swiss diploma and a Kenyan diploma at the same time through the partnership with BHMS.
Okay, you are aware of the challenges that we are currently facing as a country. Joblessness is one of the biggest challenges we are facing. What is this particular school doing to ensure that it deals with that problem? And then again, there have been several complaints in the job markets that whatever students are being taught in schools does not give them the necessary skills that is required for them to compete in the job markets. What are you people doing to ensure that your students can be able to compete favorably?
So the differentiator between BIHC and all other schools in this country and on the continent is that we pride in ourselves in producing highly qualified, highly trained, highly motivated, but hands-on students. If they're doing 2-year diploma in culinary arts, it's a 6-semester training. Out of the 6th semester, the first semester, students like now, the new one we're taking, will be training both practical and theory in the first semester. In the second semester, they'll be working inside the hotel, both the 3-star and the 5-star. In the 3rd semester, they go out for internship. They go for internship in the best hotels outlets, both in the country and outside the country, largely 5-star hotels, both here in Kenya, in Uganda, in Rwanda. Some go as far as their home countries. We're now sending also students to go to the US on a J1 visa, where they go and work for 1 year on a paid visa in some of the leading hotels in the US, both in clubs and 5-star hotels. We have partnership with 2 hotel companies in the US that would send students for 1 year, one called BSG, the other one called HCR, where our students then go and work after their graduation from here. So we're saying in terms of hands-on training, we have the best philosophy, best possibility, based on the Swiss philosophy of apprenticeship on practice. So they are practicing here, they are practicing in other hotels, they're also practicing internationally when they go. So by the time someone graduates here with a 2-year diploma, these are well rounded off. 90% of our students who are qualifying to get a diploma from us, once they graduate, over 90% of them are absorbed by the industry, both locally and regionally and internationally. Equally also, we have had students who are running their own businesses, self-employed. So this training has been very useful for them in that sense. So I just want to say we have been a solution to that particular problem of joblessness and unemployment. We can assure that those who come through our system and through our education are highly competitive, not only in this country, regionally, continentally, and globally.
Thank you very much for joining us. Now, as you've heard, the only thing that students in Kenya want to hear is something that can give them jobs, because currently, as you've all heard, there is a big problem in the job market. Jobs are not available. Now, this particular school says that they are able to hook up their students with internships, and that is paid internship. And then again, they are also able to hook up the students with jobs, not just in Kenya, but also abroad, since they have a very good connection with the BHMS. Now back to you in studio, Edmond.
Thank you so much, Nayoma Sampao, for that elaborate interview and live link that you have given us there about the hospitality industry and the job market as well. Let's take a short break on NTV at 1. We still have plenty more for you, so do stay with us.
Look at this. And this. So this? Why is this so? The culture of good driving and road safety starts with attending the right driving school and receiving the right driving instructions. Now you know. AA Kenya.
Register today for your driving classes. Dial *650#.
For 100 years now, AA has walked with you throughout the journey. Automobile Association of Kenya. You never drive alone.
To date, Barclays has funded about 573 students. We don't have enough resources to fund everybody. So by virtue of Barclays taking over, then it actually allowed us to be able to take, other new students on board.
I scored a B+, called to Kenyatta University, but no fees. The Higher Education Loans Board connected me to the Barclays Scholarship, and it has really been of importance because since then it has enabled me to pay my fee and accommodation, and I'm really grateful for that.
Scholarships have been running for the last 2 years. In those 2 years, we've invested approximately 150 million Kenya shillings and have touched the lives of cumulatively about 1,000 students. We believe in a shared growth philosophy, which is as we do well, so does the society and the communities that we operate in.
Breathable surface developed with Airsoft technology is very soft and provides the best Molfix skincare.
I've found the best diaper for my baby's sensitive skin.
All babies deserve a high-quality diaper. You should also try Molfix.
This festive season, get a decoder with subscription at an unbelievable festive offer of only 1,499 shillings. Children can enjoy amazing cartoons on Nickelodeon, while for women, great soaps and drama on Novella E+ and Rambo TV. For men, it's Arsenal and Manchester United. You can also pay 1 month and enjoy 2 weeks free on a higher bouquet. For more information, call 0719 077 077.
Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
Welcome back to NTV at 1. My name is Edmond Nyabola. And the Kenya Wildlife Service has postponed the cleanup of the Malindi Marine Park seabed due to poor visibility. This has been occasioned by the siltation caused by the floods along River Sabaki in Malindi, that's in Kilifi County. The cleanup, which is ideally done every 6 months as part of conserving the park and marine life, will hopefully be done in about 2 months, as Martin Mwangi now tells us.
Dead vegetation, plastic bottles and discarded cups are among the items in the mounds of field of the beach at the Malindi Marine Park, a facility which is meant to be cleaned every 6 months, according to the Kenya Wildlife Service, in keeping the tourist attraction at its best.
Vile tulikuwa tumepanga, mipango hiyo ikawa haikuwezekana, ni kwa sababu Sabaki imeleta uchafu mwingi. Maji hayaonekani kule chini, so divers cannot be able to see very well. The visibility is poor. And so diving could not have been possible.
The stakeholders ranging from the Kenya Wildlife Service, beach operators, Kenya Police, tourism investors turned up at the Osteria beach but were forced to collect plastics along the shores of the ocean. Malindi Marine National Park and Reserve Senior Warden Jane Gitao says the cleanup is still in their agenda.
We are planning in the next 2-3 months, the water will have cleared, the visibility will be good, and so we will do that underwater cleanup.
Gitao says the protection of the marine is the responsibility of everyone. The facility was established 53 years ago as the first national park with the aim of promoting tourism, education, research, security and management. Martin Mwangi, NTV.
Now, small and medium enterprises may start paying lower taxes if the SME policy comes to pass in line with what the government says it intends to achieve. Trade, Industry and Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya says that the government is keen on reducing the burden faced by the small-scale traders, scaling down the taxes that traders pay in the course of their businesses. Speaking in Machakos Town after attending a meeting hosted by the Micro and Small Enterprises Authority in partnership with local Juakali traders, the CS said that the proposed law is set to introduce an SME fund to provide cheaper and affordable loans to the small businesses. The government has pledged 7.7 million shillings to set up a modern worksite and exhibition in Machakos, as well as purchase of Juakali machinery to boost the sub-sector.
Jambo moja lile president anashughulikia hata saa hii mwenyewe ni kuona ni vipi tax inaweza kuenda chini kwa wale wanabiashara wadogo ndio wasiwe na tax burden kubwa. Hiyo nimemsikia akisema na najua suluhu itatokea. Tusiwe na tax hii, single business license, tu license nyingine ya kitu gani nyingine, tu ya kitu gani nyingine, tu ya kitu gani nyingine. Na kabla iwe ipitisho cabinet, iwe policy, ndio sasa tuweze kutengeneza sheria na regulations implementation of that policy. Kwa hivyo kikao tumesema ya pande hii komande huko Kitui, na tunasema nyinyi muende mfike huko mpeane maoni.
In an effort to empower herders to adopt modern farming technology, the county government of Kajiado, in collaboration with the World Bank, has offered a 44 million shillings grant to locals to boost their livelihoods. Unlike other cases where finances are given to specific groups, the non-revolving fund is to be given to groups comprising of men, women and youth. A total of 68 groups have benefited. The initiative, dubbed Climate Smart Agriculture Project, targeting community micro-projects, began by intensive training of investment groups, also known as chamas. Those who qualified were granted the financing to start up modern farming practices. The project seeks to increase agriculture productivity and build resilience to climate change risks in the targeted smallholder farming and pastoral communities. The locals are engaging in projects such as farming tomatoes, onions and rearing dairy animals in joint ventures and share proceeds.
Hii mradi inafanya kazi kuwawezesha waende wakaanzishe kazi zao.
Tunaona hii mradi wa KESAP inaweza kutusaidia hata katika kilimo tunaweza pata faida, na tulikuwa pia tunafuga ng'ombe kila wakati tunakuwa tunahama, tunakuwa na shida ya maji, lakini kwa mradi huu tumeona tukinufaika kwa kupitia maji na nyasi pia, na kwa kutibiwa kwa hizo ng'ombe hatujapata tena shida.
Livestock rearing and lately tomato farming constitute the backbone of our economy as a county, as a country. And so supporting that value chain goes a long way to address the real mwananchi on the ground.
Let's now have a look at the sports before we look at some stories making headlines across our borders. And Nakuru County will be the center of action this afternoon as the Kenya Cup resumes following a 2-week break for the Christmas and New Year festivities. Current leaders Kabras Sugar headline Match Day 10 in a clash away to top fry Nakuru, who are 5th. This as 6th placed Menengai Oilers, boosted by new recruits, among them Geoffrey Ominde, host 7th placed Stanbic Mwamba at the Moi Showground in Nakuru. Defending champions KCB, who lie 2nd, will be at home to 11th placed Black Blood, while 3rd placed Homeboys take on 4th placed Impala Saracens at Jamhuri Park. Struggling Kenya Harlequin welcome bottom of the table Kisumu RFC to RFUA grounds, and 8th placed Nondis are away to 9th placed Western Bulls at the Bull Ring in Kakamega. And the 2019 Motorsports Personality of the Year Awards are currently on at Carnival grounds. Competitors will be rewarded by the Kenya Motorsports Federation for outstanding performances in 2019. Our reporter Ian Mugo is at the venue right now. And Ian, what is the latest and what bearing does this have to the season that we saw in 2019?
Okay, a very good afternoon to you, Edmond, in the studio. We are here at the Carnival Simba Saloon, where the Motorsport Federation Awards are going on. And currently, they are going to award the different categories of the rally racers last year. We remember last year, the Male Personalities Motorsport Award of the Year was awarded. And we are joined by Mr. Phineas Kimathi, the chairman of the Safari Rally WC in Kenya. Phineas,
thank you. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you.
What are the expectations today?
Well, this is a very important event. As you very well know, we have 4 disciplines under the Kenya Motorsports Federation. One is rally. That is what is our flagship, sport. The KCB Kenya National Rally Championship. Then we have the KCB Autocross Championship, and we have the Raid Championship, as well as the Karting Championship. So these 4 categories, we have champions in different classes, and they're going to receive their awards for the 2019 championship this afternoon or in a short while.
Okay, we've seen that we've added the Tarmacking Championship to this year's calendar. Well, can you elaborate on that?
Well, the whole idea is to make sure that motorsports is properly regulated in Kenya so that people don't get involved in dangerous sporting. You realize that we had the TT racing that takes place many times in Masinga, or what used to be called the Kiambu Racing Group. So we want to bring them on board because FIA, which is our regulating body, has got adequate regulations to ensure that the championship is properly regulated and recognized. So we're looking forward to having the Tarmac Championship as well. And we have also added the 4x4. Those of you who remember, the 4x4 Championship has been taking place in different parts of the country, mainly Champagne Park, in Kajiado, at the river, Meru, Mount Elgon, and we want also to bring that on board so that everybody who is interested in enjoying motorsports gets an opportunity.
It is a big year for rally championships in Kenya. Of course, the Safari Rally is back to the WRC calendar in July. How are the preparations so far?
Yeah, preparations are in top gear. Last night I bid farewell to one of the experts, and the last 2 weeks we've been working on the route with the 2 experts, one from the Rally of Great Britain, Ian Campbell, who is an expert in that area, and Jaos Passos from Portugal, who is also the clerk, of course, of the Rally of Portugal. They are working with us, seconded by the WRC and FIA, and our own local team that is led by the clerk, of course, Guvi Babra, Anwar Sidi, Nazil Yakub, George Mwangi. They've all been working around the clock to ensure that the entire itinerary is completed in good time. The first draft itinerary will be deposited with FIA in Paris on the 30th of January.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, as you've heard, it's a very exciting day for the Gala Awards here at the Carnival Simba Saloon, and we'll have more lined up for you in our subsequent bulletins. Back to you in studio, Edmond.
Thank you so much, Ian, for that. And Sheffield United have climbed to 5th in the Premier League standings with a 1-0 win against West Ham, whose late equaliser was ruled out by a video assistant referee. Oli McBurney scored the sole goal, condemning the Hammers to a first defeat under David Moyes. Substitute Robert Liverpool in the late kickoff at 8:30 p.m. In the early kickoff, Crystal Palace clashed
Welcome to NTV Today. You are just in time. The live link will be done by Muledan, and sports has a lot to be shown. And Sean Cardovillis
keeping you up to date with all you need to know as and when it happens.
It's not been a very good morning in the country. We've had a very grisly accident.
In clear context to all the relevant issues.
Reacquire the property they've gotten with our looted money and save this country for my child and daughter Teko and the many children.
From our studios to the ground where the action is live.
Misuse of funds here in the country.
Someone donating their hat to Bernard Ojwang there.
Welcome to NTV Today. You are just in time. The live link will be done by Muledan, and sports has a lot to be shown. And Sean Cardovillis
keeping you up to date with all you need.
That it mistakenly shot down the Ukrainian passenger aircraft that left 176 people dead on January 8, 2020, with a majority being Iranians. A statement by Iran's armed forces said it targeted the plane unintentionally and attributed the crash to radar activity and fear of U.S. action. The Ukrainian government has since restrained, or rather refrained, its citizens from visiting the region, prohibiting its airline from flying in the airspace of Iran and Iraq.
When the Ukraine International Airlines plane crashed in Tehran on Wednesday morning shortly after takeoff, authorities cited the reason as technical difficulties with the Boeing 737 aircraft. 176 people were killed, majority of whom were Iranians. 3 days later, the Iranian government has gone against its initial stand and has confessed responsibility. Iran says it unintentionally shot down the plane. The announcement was made through the Iran's official news agency, with President Hassan Rouhani stating on social media that he deeply regretted the disastrous mistake, adding that his thoughts and prayers were with the mourning families. Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif also tweeted blaming the human error to U.S. adventurism, which led to the disaster. The Ukrainian Airlines Flight 752 crash came hours after Iran fired missiles at Iraqi military bases housing U.S. troops in retaliation to a drone strike at Baghdad airport that killed Iranian commander Hassim Soleimani. After the missile operation in Iraq, U.S. military flights around Iranian borders increased, and Iranian military officials reported seeing aerial targets coming toward strategic centers. This is according to a statement by Iranian Armed Forces headquarters. The statement further reads, and I quote, "The aircraft came close to a sensitive IRGC military center at an altitude and flight condition that resembled hostile targeting. Under these circumstances, the aircraft was unintentionally hit, which unfortunately resulted in death of the many Iranian and foreign nationals." End of quote. The victims included 82 Iranians, 57 Canadians, 11 Ukrainians, 10 Swedes, 4 Afghans, 3 Germans and 3 British nationals. Iran has invited the United States, Ukraine, Canada and others to join the crash investigation. Ukraine has urged the international community to participate in this, while Canada is reported to have only received 2 Iranian visas for their officials to enter Iran.
I cannot speak for the Iranian government. I think the world is watching the Iranian authorities as to the access they will be providing. As we said, we want a full and complete investigation. That's why the International Coordination and Response Group want to speak with one voice, because not only Canadians want to know in Canada, but you have families across the world, and I would say you have also Iranian families who want to know what really happened on that night.
The majority of passengers on the Ukrainian flight were Iranian-Canadian dual nationals. Mourners in Canada held a vigil for the departed as news of the plane being shot down hit them hard.
This boy is her brother. So that family lost 2 children. And this is her wife. And they were just last year they were married, they got married together. And just for 4 months they were together here.
I'm so sad. So many people, they still don't want to believe what this government is doing to them. They are just closing their eyes. Even if you offer them glasses, they don't want it to see.
The disaster is a grim echo of the 1988 shoot-down of an Iran Air jetliner hit by a missile from a U.S. Navy ship. All 290 people on board were killed.
Quite a shocking revelation there by Iran. Now, Oman has sworn in a new ruler following the death of Sultan Qaboos, who passed away on Friday at the age of 79. Haytham bin Tariq, the 65-year-old cousin of the late Sultan Qaboos, who served as Oman's culture minister, has succeeded the longest reigning leader of the modern Arab world. Haytham was sworn in after a meeting of the family, which decided to appoint him since he had been chosen by the Sultan. Sultan Qaboos was unmarried, had no children, and left no heir apparent. President Uhuru Kenyatta has sent a message of condolence to the people of the Sultanate of Oman, describing the demised leader as a visionary. And as I walk out of studio, I will leave you with some bullseye. Now, scoring goals is all that matters in a political contest. At least that's what participants in this game have taught us. The end justifies the means, and if losing a friend is what it takes to win, well, so be it. Friends are being lost and made in quick succession, and as Emmanuel Juma now reports on Bullseye, the drums have sounded and the main players have hit the road ahead of schedule.
Drums have sounded. Now, William is not just any other entertainer. This is drumming up support, but even more accurately, beating the drums of war, political war.
Watu waache kulalamika, mambo bado. Wanalalamika nini mapema? Ama ni aje?
And in preparation for this war, the War Council, a kitchen cabinet has been constituted.
So the unga in a mix vizuri.
Murkomen is one of them, and boy, he's really mixing it up.
The investment tumeweka kwa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta na chama cha Jubilee ni investment kubwa sana. Na nataka niwaambie wale wa mpango wa KANU ambao wanafikiria watavuna pahali hawajapanda ya kwamba we are not about to separate ourselves with Jubilee and Uhuru Kenyatta. That is our investment.
Na ni mwaigua family ya goko na family ya mheshimiwa His Excellency.
And in that spirit of knowing things, one Kanini Kega, the little sweet thing, appeared to have had little knowledge about the prevailing political environment.
Nyinyi watu ambao mnapanga mpango ya nyuma hapa, msijifanye mnajua Uhuru Kenyatta sana na hata kushinda sisi. Ati wewe umetumwa na Uhuru Kenyatta. Tunajua Uhuru Kenyatta wakati atatuma mtu na atatuma namna gani. Si ati ni mzee amekaa ovyo ovyo namna hii.
It's all about scoring political goals.
Piga bao la mwaka.
Uhuru haendi pahali popote. Mtengeneze katiba apate nafasi.
Hawa ni mabroka, ni madalali, hawa ni watu ambao ni matapeli ambao wamekosa kazi ya kufanya. Waende watafute mambo ingine. Wawachane na chama ya Jubilee, wawachane na kiongozi wa Jubilee. Sisi tuko na kazi ya kufanya.
Ajadi akipata nafasi ya kuwa prime minister sawa.
Kazi nimechoka.
That, it appears, is not enough. You may have to say it again and again.
Nimechoka.
He could be in that state of kuchoka, but he's just getting started.
Amekula ubusuma nende lihubi na pamoja na ingoho na pamoja na imondo.
Talk of ingoho and imondo, and you have the ears of the men of Mulembe.
We have organized a meeting of elders.
Mtu anakaa tu kwake, anasema ataenda Buhungu kuchagua kiongozi wa Waluya.
January meeting is for king making. This is not true.
Atuole anakaa na wengine anasema tuende Buhungu. Lazima tuwe na siri yetu.
It is not a king making meeting, and I'm not interested in king making people.
Mtu ambaye amewahi kusimama kura na hakupata kura 200 ndiye anataka kuja Kakamega kusema huyu ndio kiongozi wa Waluya.
Na wewe kama hapana unga BBI mkono, kaa nyumbani na unyamaze.
So, are the Luyas united?
No, in Luya community we have camps.
We are more than 100% united. This issue that there is elusive unity, and this thing always comes from the media, you should stop it.
Why does this keep happening? No wonder even straightforward things like a firm handshake are not as simple as they look.
Me, hello your excellency, Ruto, holding on to my hand. We jamaa umekuwa ukinichapa sana. Me, your excellency, Ruto, still holding on to my hand tightly. Wewe lazima sasa nikugonge.
Nimesalimiana na jamaa mwingine hapo. Amenishika mkono. Karibu ikue kama ile ya Mutua.
Mutua, what scared you the most about the handshake?
Ni akanishika mkono kwa nguvu.
Ati nimemsalimia tu hivi. Ati huyu mtu ameenda akakimbia kunistaki kwa polisi. Kama angesalimiana na ule mtu amekuwa akikoroka boat hapa, si angekimbia Hague.
And he reported the matter.
I turned back to where Right Honorable Raila Odinga was, and I told him what had transpired.
How about this? Maybe Washiali should have reported the villager to the police for eating his money, right?
No, let all. No, you are interested.
Interestingly, we have exported some of our bad manners abroad.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. So the only way he figures that he's going to get reelected, and as sure as you're sitting there, is to start a war with Iran. I believe that he will attack Iran sometime prior to the election because he thinks that's the only way he can get elected. Isn't it pathetic?
It is pathetic, yes.
Mimi nimeacha pombe mwaka huu, lakini hiyo miaka ingine tulikuwa tunakunywa na muradhe. Nimesema tu umeacha pombe. Na hiyo maneno tumeyapata na tumeyasikia.
We need a song.
Uthio amwathani Jesu nabwo kogwakwa niguka geithia Jesu muoyo-ini.
Emmanuel Juma, Bullseye, NTV.